What's going on, guys? It's Sam, and welcome to another manga haul for the month of August/September. Today we got another banger of a haul, but that's in my opinion. I'm interested to hear what y'all think of this haul. What are some of your favorite pickups that I got, as well as what y'all been picking up over the past few months. I know it's been a rough time for picking up manga. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the haul. Hope you guys enjoy. Starting off, we got a banger. We have Mashle, Magic and Muscles, Volume 1. Went into this pretty blind. I'd seen some pictures on Twitter. People showing Mashle some mad love, saying Mash is the best, Mash rocks, Mash, I'm gonna dump my girlfriend for you, Mash, marry me, all this yada yada. So there's a lot of hype going into it. And I went into it a little critical, I'm not gonna lie. Because there's a lot of hype going around on this series. But oh my gosh, this thing rocks. Okay? If you like wizards, you like Harry Potter, if you like being a Chad, you like Chads, you like big muscles, you like beasts, if you like some comedy, you like laughing, and if you like a wholesome main character who you're rooting for, who people are trying to pick on him, people want to see the man fail, but he's always succeeding, this is the series for you guys. Mashle rocks. This volume was amazing, and I cannot wait to pick up the next one. Speaking of MCs that are really emotionless but extremely adorable and lovable, we have Mob Psycho 100 volumes 1 through 6. This is one of the volumes that when I purged a large portion of my collection, I ended up selling the series and I immediately missed it. And of course, as soon as I wanted to get it back, it became nearly impossible to buy a lot of the manga that I ended up selling. So it took me a while to get this back in my collection, but oh my gosh, I freaking love Mob Psycho 100. There's just so many aspects of it that I love, and I think the manga is a significantly different, not significantly, but a pretty different experience compared to the anime, because the art is very raw, since it's written by one who happens to be the writer behind One Punch Man, two of my absolute favorite series. But this is the webcomic version, similar to how One Punch Man has a webcomic, but it's strictly one's art, which some people would say it's a little rough, which I can see where they're coming from, but I think that the art style by one has so much charm, and it really adds to the humor effect of Mob Psycho 100. So most of y'all probably know a lot about Mob Psycho 100 by now, but what you're going to get with this series is an extremely adorable and lovable MC with Mob, who is just trying to be a normal student who just wants friends and to fit in, and he's a really awkward guy who also has these super OP telekinesis abilities. And so some people try and manipulate him and use him, and also some people try and take advantage or hurt his loved ones. But since he's this super good guy with OP powers, he ends up getting in a lot of situations where he has to either defend the people he loves, rescue them, or just awkwardly be in these school situations where he's just trying to fit in, but he's this kind of weird outcast. But I can easily recommend this series. It's one of those series that's, it's not just like you laugh, like snort out of your nose, but you actually end up laughing out loud. This type of humor is like right up my alley, and characters like Mob, I just think are the best. You're always rooting for them. They just have such pure hearts. And whenever things go their way, it's the most wholesome feeling. But this gets an easy recommendation for me, guys. I love Mob Psycho, and I think the manga is great too. It's a little underrated. Next up, we have Beastars Volume 13 by Peru Itagaki. And for fans of this channel, you know that Beastars is a huge love of mine. I really enjoy this series. I just love kind of the high school dramas. And I know this is all animals, but they're based around real people, real relationships with high school students. And, kind of starts off as like a thriller drama, and it still is. The series starts off with a high school student is killed and goes missing. And Legoshi, the main character, tries to figure out that mystery, which kind of had a lackluster result, if you ask me. But I think where this series really shines is with Legoshi and Louie's relationship. Alright, next up we have another new series that I picked up that I absolutely adored, and that is Zom 100 volumes 1 through 3. And I know what you're thinking, Sam, shut up, I'm sick of zombie stuff. After what they did to my boy Glenn, I'm not watching or reading anything zombie related. And I hear you. I feel you. You know, I was in the same boat. I was pretty reluctant to picking this up just because I'm kind of sick of zombie related content. But this was amazing. Like, such a good series. I picked up the first 2 volumes at first, read both of them literally in one sitting. I enjoyed it so much. And then ended up immediately pre-ordering the 3rd volume, which just showed up like yesterday, and then I read it in one sitting. Really just wholesome main character. He's kind of like in a dead-end job, and the zombie apocalypse brings like a new joy to his life to where he wants to finish all 100 things on his bucket list before he turns into a zombie. And it's just like a lot of, it's almost episodic with one underlying story, but it's just really wholesome, and I cannot recommend it enough. Even if you're opposed to some zombie content, I recommend it. But it is a little bit more mature, so keep that in mind. Next up, this series needs no introduction. We got Solo Leveling Volume 2. These volumes, the color and the art within the physicals are amazing. I read this whole series digitally, and I am caught up, but the physicals are amazing. Now, what is Solo Leveling? First of all, if you haven't read Solo Leveling yet, I just gotta hit you with this. Bruh. But Solo Leveling is like the peak level of epicness in fiction. It's, you know, kind of similar to like a RPG dungeon crawler where the main character is weak as frick at first, but then becomes busted OP. You know, if I hit you with that, you're probably like, that sounds boring. You know, it's been there, done that. But Solo Leveling just executes so well. It's so epic. And the fights are amazing as well as the art. So check it out. I definitely recommend it. And then, of course, we got some Chainsaw Man. Another series that I ended up selling in the Purge. And then, you know, perfect timing that I ended up deciding to sell it. Because this thing has been like trying to find diamonds. It is so hard to find this series. But finally got volumes 1, 3, and 6 shipped to my house from a Right Stuff order I placed a long time ago. I have finished Chainsaw Man, or at least part 1, and I'm rereading it for a second time, and this series is so dang good. Like, I cannot wait for that animation. For those of you who've seen the trailer and read this, it's just going to be insane. But for me, when I first read Chainsaw Man, I didn't really enjoy Volume 1 that much, if I'm being completely honest. So I reread it after I heard how amazing the ending was, and I kind of pushed the beginning part. But when you get to like these volumes, specifically Volume 6 with Rize, who is the best girl, YouTube, don't demonetize me. I know that's a sus looking cover, but that's art. You know, she's a great character. But this volume was insane. Like Denji and Rize, their relationship, I'm all about it. I love it. Rize the best girl, like I said. But the fights were just so good. I loved every panel of this volume, and I just freaking love Chainsaw Man. Like, you guys got to read it. I know that's kind of insensitive me saying because it's literally impossible to find the series, but read it on the Shonen Jump app. You know, pay $2, read the whole thing, and then wait for the physicals to come in because it's that good. And you're going to want to read it before the anime comes out because it's a story you're going to want to experience twice. One, the manga is so amazing, but this thing as an anime is going to be a different experience in itself. So definitely recommend it. And then, of course, we got Planet Test Volumes 1 and 2 by Makoto Yukimura. Obviously one of my favorite mangakas. He's written my favorite series, which is Vinland Saga. And I wanted to pick up Planet Test. I finally picked up the 2 volumes, so it's a short series. This is a more heartfelt series. You know, it's not based around action. It's isolated. It's very relationship based, and it's about this crew of astronauts who, this is in the future. It's around 2060, I believe, and it's a crew of astronauts who their job is strictly to pick up debris that's in space because it's kind of become like a littered area. And one of the main characters, his wife, actually got into an accident in space from a piece of debris that hit their spaceship. She ended up dying. And so that's kind of his motivation behind sticking in space and wanting to clean up this debris. And it's a really heartfelt story, and I'm enjoying it so far. And then I think this is the last. I'm going to have some more, but we got Shaman King, the Omnibus, Volume 1 and 2. I actually picked up the 3rd one, but the way that thing came, if you follow me on Twitter, you know, it looked like Right Stuff put it through a war zone because it was in a bad condition. So trying to send that back and get a replacement. So we have Volumes 1 and 2. I've kind of been in like an old school battle shonen kick. I just finished Yu Yu Hakusho and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to pick up something else that's in the similar realm. I'm not fully hooked in yet. I'm like halfway through the first Omnibus. I'm enjoying it. I like the art style, and I think the humor is on point. But I'm just kind of waiting for that the shonen battle teeth to sink into where I really feel like the epicness is worth pushing through some of the poor writing, if I'm being honest. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to keep reading it, and hopefully it really picks up for me. But I will say, these omnibus kind of get a rough rep, but I kind of like them. It's kind of similar to the One Piece omnis, but a little bit better condition, a little bit better material. And I also like the spines too. I think they look pretty crispy on the shelf, which y'all could see in an upcoming manga collection. But yeah, that is going to do it for my manga haul for this month. Let me know what you guys thought of it. I really enjoyed these pickups. I read most of them and love what I was able to finally get. Hope to hear from you guys in the comment section, and I'll make sure to reply to y'all. But yeah,